Mukesh starts a zoo. I'm going to start a zoo, Mukesh announced at breakfast the next morning. I'll find some animals, he added. That's what a zoo is all about, collecting animals. He was gazing at the whitewashed walls of the veranda where a gecko, a small wall lizard, was in pursuit of a fly. After breakfast, Mukesh tried to catch the lizard, but it was more alert than it looked and managed to run away. That's not the way to catch a lizard, said Teju, who had come over from next door. Teju fetched a stick from the garden and used it to tip the lizard off the wall and into a shoebox. Soon he and Teju were at work in the back garden, setting up enclosures with a roll of wire netting they had found. What else can we have in the zoo? Asked Teju. There's your grandmother's parrot, said Mukesh. That's a good idea, said Teju. But I don't think she'll lend it to us. You see, it's a religious parrot. She has taught it lots of prayers and chants. Then people are sure to come and listen to it. They'll pay too. You're right. We'll get the parrot somehow. What else? Well, there's my dog, said Mukesh. He's very fierce. But a dog isn't a zoo animal. Mine is. He is a wild dog. He is black all over and he has got yellow eyes. There is no other dog like him. Now, we've got a lizard, a parrot and a black dog with yellow eyes, said Teju. Your sister Koki has a white rabbit. Will she lend it to us? Asked Mukesh. I don't know, said Teju doubtfully, adding, she might rent it to us. Let's see if we can get Sita Ram's donkey too, said Mukesh. Sita Ram was the washerman's son. On Saturday afternoon, a large sign announcing the opening of the zoo hung from the branch of the jackfruit tree. Children were allowed in free, but grown-ups had to buy tickets at 50 paise each. The first attraction was a large packing case filled with an assortment of house lizards. Koki's white rabbit was on display in the next enclosure. Staring at it from behind the wire netting was Mukesh's dog. Rare black dog with yellow eyes, read the notice. The dog paused to dig his way under the fence in order to get at the rabbit's compartment. Tied with a rope was Sita Ram's small donkey. On the tree was a sign saying, Wild Ass from Kutch. There was also a duck that didn't seem to belong to anyone, and a small cow that had strayed in on its own. But the star attraction was the parrot, as it could recite 3 different prayers over and over again. Teju and Koki's grandmother had chosen that day for visiting the temple, so she was unaware of the fuss that was being made of her pet. While Mukesh and Teju were escorting visitors, there was a disturbance in the zoo. The black dog with yellow eyes had managed to dig his way out of his enclosure. He was now trying to dig his way into the rabbit's compartment. Meanwhile, the donkey managed to snap the rope that held it and ran away. Shrieking, Koki ran to rescue her rabbit. Soon, it was safely cradled in her arms. Frustrated, the dog turned his attention to the duck. The duck flew over the packing case, but the dog landed in it, scattering lizards in all directions. In all this confusion, no one noticed that the door of the parrot's cage had flipped open with a pleased squawk and a whir of wings. The bird shot out of the cage and flew off. What are we going to do now? Asked Teju. Koki had an idea. I know, she said. We'll get another parrot. How? Well, we've collected 10 rupees. We can buy a new parrot with it. So they hurried off to the bazaar. There they found a bird seller who sold them a parrot that looked like Granny's. Granny, who could not see clearly, didn't notice the difference. However, she complained that the bird had stopped repeating its prayers. Teju had a bright idea. Every morning he stood in front of the parrot's cage and repeated Granny's prayers. Within a few weeks, the bird had learned to repeat one of them. Granny was happy again, not only because her parrot was praying once more, but because Teju had started praying too.